everyone, this is Miss Ward. Tonight your notes are going to be on Circular Motion Unit Concept 8. We'll be discussing the tides of the ocean. So where did tides come from? For thousands of years, the cause of ocean tides was a complete mystery. It wasn't until Newton used his universal law of gravitation that we were able to finally explain them. We just need to learn about the basics. So there is a gravitational force between the Earth and the Moon. Those forces pull on one another, and due to their proximity, they cause deformities like the stretching of a ball into an egg. Because water is more receptive to this deformation than the rocky material of the Earth, it actually is able to move and cause these tides that we know of. Ordinarily, a location will have 2 high tides and 2 low tides. If the sun aligns with the moon, then it enhances these effects, and we get what we call spring tides. When the sun and the moon are at right angles, the tides are smaller, and they are called neap tides. To give you a quick little reference so you can see what it happens. So essentially, the reason we have 2 high tides a day is because of the fact that the Earth rotates around its axis once in 24 hours. Okay. Meanwhile, the moon is revolving around the Earth in the exact same direction, which means the moon passes in front of every single spot on the Earth once approximately every 24 hours and 50 minutes. Now, what happens is the moon causes the Earth to kind of stretch out. It doesn't cause it to quite stretch out, just this, quite this bad, but this is what it, kind of stretches it to do. The waters. When ordinarily, this is kind of like where the Earth is. Looking, the yellow is normal Earth, white is kind of the stretch. Obviously that stretch is quite exaggerated, but just for our purposes. Okay, now this would be the case if the moon was over here. It causes the highest high tide here, but it also causes another high tide over here. So those are the 2 high tides. Meanwhile, in the middle of the Earth, you get a low tide. Since the moon goes around the Earth once in a day, every single spot on Earth gets 2 high tides and 2 low tides. When the sun meets up with the Earth and the moon, and they all get in the same line, these get very exaggerated, and the high and low tides get very extreme. All right. When they are at right angles, they get much lower. Okay, that was like when we were talking about the spring and neap tides. Okay, the spring tides are when they're in line, the neap tides are when they're not. Okay, that's all you need to know for our tides for this section. If you have any questions, bring them to class with you. Make sure you go online, do your online whisk. If you haven't started doing your practice problems, please go in and start doing them. There were not any for this section, but it's, only benefits you to get ahead of those and start getting them done. Alright, we'll have a short quiz over this material in class. Have a great night.